Hey guys, so today I've got the Find X9 Pro, which is the latest flagship of Oppo, and the S25 Ultra, which is the flagship of Samsung right now, and also the X200 Pro. So we'll be diving into an in-depth camera comparison of all these three phones, and I will let you know which camera is best for the 2025. If you're in the market right now, you can choose whichever you like. So let's start the video now.
Few things. So as usual, the X200 Pro will be on Zeiss Natural, X9 Pro will be on auto mode most of the time, and the S25 Ultra will be on default. All the settings on, like all the adjustment turned off. So the best natural output that we can get out of these phones we will be seeing. Obviously the X9 Pro has a separate master mode, that's my favorite, and I would say it's more comparable to the Zeiss Natural, but I think the most people will be using the photo mode, and for the master mode to get best results I have to tweak some settings. Otherwise the master mode is too natural, like it's literally giving a full frame camera DSLR like vibe straight out of the bat, because the master mode is meant to be look like a Hasselblad output, right? So it's always the most natural. So right now I am just keeping the FindX9 Pro on the photo mode, the normal auto mode, and you can see that the Zeiss Natural, everything, like the Zeiss Natural here looks the most neutral shot, but it's too much neutral that you can the McDonald logo looks a little off, a little muted. The colors aren't that much authentic because it was obviously lit up. The McDonald's logo was lit up. It's not showing that much of details, but the X9 Pro in my opinion looks the best here. We are getting the lit up shot here, while the S25 Ultra on the right looks overexposed here. So the processing is not that much good like the Find X9 Pro and the X200 Pro. And if in my opinion the skin tones looks the best on the Vivo here. The skin tone looks the most natural, and S25 Ultra is also doing good job, but if you zoom in you can clearly see the problem with the S25 Ultra is in the details. The details are literally nowhere close to the Find X9 Pro and the X200 Pro. The details are the most the best details we can get is on the Find X9 Pro here, because obviously it has the best sensor, the flagship sensor right now, and the X200 Pro has got little soft image compared to the Find X9 Pro. So yeah, obviously the X9 Pro is giving the best result, and in my opinion for this picture the X9 Pro looks the best here, and second best would be obviously the X200 Pro, which will be very close, and we will be looking obviously the comparison with the X300 Pro later by the end of this month. So do subscribe the channel and share this video as much as you can with your friends. So let's check out the next shot. So it's a 200 megapixel shot, and right away you can see the S25 Ultra on the right looks a little unpolished, a little soft and blurred, and you need very stable hands to get a good 200 megapixel shot on the S25 Ultra, while the X200 Pro and Find X9 Pro is comparatively easier to get a shot. And if I zoom in you can notice that the level of details you're getting on the X200 Pro and the Find X9 Pro, while the S25 Ultra is literally out of focus or something like that, but the level of clarity and details you are getting with the X200 Pro is literally unmatched. I think the best amount of clarity that we are like the details that we are getting is on the like there's like 19-20 difference, you would say. Like there is literally very less difference, but still we are getting slight better result on the X200 Pro. But if you talk about the overall picture, the skin tone looks far more realistic on the Find X9 Pro, and X200 Pro is literally boosting up the contrast and the sharpness and everything. So it's looking a little processed to me, while the X9 Pro looks the most natural and the best shot out of all three. So I will choose the X9 Pro for this 200 megapixel shot. Let's check out the next picture. Alright, so another 1x shot, and you can see the outputs that we are seeing on the S25 Ultra and the X9 Pro is very similar. A lower exposed shot, and very if I zoom in you can see that the amount of detail that we are seeing on the X9 Pro is not good. The S25 Ultra is giving us a fair amount of details, and there is some kind of problem. I think the focus issue is there. It focused on the back while all of them focused on the person here. X200 Pro is also giving us a good shot. The best exposed shot I would say is on the X200 Pro, and it depends, like sometimes you have to edit it and you have to bring out the details and everything. So I think for that the S25 Ultra is doing a very good job here. But if you want a straight out of the camera post for the social media, the X1 Pro is doing the best job here. Yeah, let's check out the next shot. Alright guys, so here we have one X shot, and you can see that the similar trend that we have seen before. The X200 Pro is always trying to capture the good dynamic range, I would say, while the Find X9 Pro is not able to capture the dynamic range very well. But on the other hand, the S25 Ultra is always tends to lower the exposure, always try to give us the most dynamic range shot. And you can see there is a processing different clearly, but I would say the best processing is here on the X200 Pro if we compare all. But one more thing to notice is that Find X9 Pro is not on the master mode, which is obviously comparable to the Zeiss natural mode available on the X200 Pro. That will be a better comparison to do. So I'll make a separate video when the X300 Pro comes out. I'll make a master mode versus Zeiss natural mode comparison so that you can get a better idea. But right now, at this point of time, on auto mode, the S25 Ultra is clearly doing lots of it's a lot of underexposed shot, which is not good. The best amount of detail is obviously on the Find X9 Pro because of the newer sensor, and X200 Pro is also doing very good job. And S25 Ultra, we can see some of the noise here. So I think, in my opinion, the perfect shot here would be X200 Pro and the Find X9 Pro. S25 Ultra is also good, but we have to do some tweaking, some editing to make it look better. Let's check out the next shot. Right, so here's an ultra-wide comparison, and you can see that the X200 Pro is little soft here, and a little you can say a little blown out image here on the face, while the S25 Ultra is always capturing the most dynamic, the most low contrast, like high contrast and low exposure shot. I don't know, maybe it will help you later in the editing or something like that, but straight out of the camera it's not looking good, and I think it needs a little good processing. But if you zoom in, you can see that the most amount of detail that we are getting is on the Find X9 Pro. Obviously, it has got the Gen 5 sensor, just like the S25 Ultra. But in my opinion, the X200 Pro processing is really good, and it's the least contrasty, and good exposure, good amount of details is there. But yeah, obviously it lacks behind the X9 Pro. And in my opinion, the X9 Pro is the best looking shot here if we compare the details here. Let's just look at the ground here, and you can see that the X9 Pro has good details. With the S25 Ultra, obviously it's a low exposure shot, so it has got the most amount of detail on the ground, and the least amount of details we can see is on the X200 Pro because of the inferior sensor. So yeah, let me know which one you prefer for the ultra wide. Let's check out the next shot. This is a 2x shot, and you can see that again the S25 Ultra is trying to underexpose the image a lot, but this time the X9 Pro has also captured good dynamic range and good amount of detail. But I've seen a specific problem with the auto mode on the Find X9 Pro, and I hope it gets fixed later. Is the reddish skin tone that it shows sometimes. I would say this is not accurate, while the X200 Pro skin tones and everything is a little better than the Find X9 Pro here on Zeiss Natural. But obviously this gets fixed when you use the master mode, and you can clearly see the noise that the S25 Ultra has. It's a lot of noise, so I don't think that's pretty much usable. And in terms of detail, obviously the Find X9 Pro is showing the best amount of detail, sharpness and everything. The X200 Pro is clearly smoothing out the face a little bit, so the best in terms of detail, the Find X9 Pro is the best here. But if you talk about the skin tones and the color, the X1 Pro is doing a little better job. Yeah, so let's check out the next shot. Free time, and I would say the Find X9 Pro, the sensor is the best among the three. And the S25 Ultra's processing is very natural. Just look at the dynamic range you're getting with the S25 Ultra. The skin tones and everything is probably the most natural on the S25 Ultra. And I would say the X200 Pro has a weak sensor. The upcoming S300 Pro has a better sensor, just like the X9 Pro. So we'll be getting a similar result with the X9 Pro and the X300 Pro. So right now the X200 Pro is the weakest has got the weakest selfie out of all three, while the S25 Ultra, in my opinion, has the best skin tone. But you can see, if I zoom in, there's noise here and a slight magenta tint, and on face you can clearly see it's visible noise. And while the X9 Pro looks the cleanest out of all three, and also the X200 Pro is good, but you can see the hair looks a little soft. The X9 Pro's hair and everything looks the best here. So if you talk about the colors here, I would say the X25 Ultra is the best, has the best, most natural color. And I would obviously the the better dynamic range. So yeah, the S25 Ultra selfie looks the best here, and the X9 Pro looks second best, and the X200 Pro looks just average. So yeah, let's check out the next shot. So here again we have 1x portrait, and you can see that the X200 Pro skin tones is different than the others. I would say the most accurate skin tone is on the S25 Ultra here. You can clearly see the amount of details, but the problem with the X25 Ultra is obviously the edge detection here. The edge detection is worse on the S25 Ultra, and I would say the best on the FindX9 Pro. And if I talk about the colors, you can see, you can choose which one you prefer, but obviously the most realistic color is what we are seeing on the FindX9 Pro, and the most pleasing color is what we are seeing on the X200 Pro. Social media ready and everything. So yeah, it depends on you, but both are having very good colors and very good details. Just it depends on you which one you prefer. And I've seen pictures that the X300 Pro is giving us much more natural skin tones now. It's not like the X200 Pro. So yeah, I can't wait to compare it with the X200 Pro. Let's check out the next shot. Alright, so here we are getting 70mm portrait, and if I compare it with the 85mm on the X200 Pro, and obviously this 25 Ultra will be somewhere, you know, similar kind of focal length. And you can clearly see this 25 Ultra is giving the, you know, the least detailed and slightly, you know, over exposed shot, while the best amount of contrast is that we are getting on the, you know, the Vivo and the Find X9 Pro. Like, it clearly looks that the S25 Ultra has the weakest portrait out of all three at first glance. If I talk about the skin tones, I would say the skin tones are very realistic on the S25 Ultra, and I really appreciate that. I prefer the skin tones on the S25 Ultra, but obviously you can look at the, you know, edge cutout, and the edge cutout is probably the best on the Find X9 Pro and the obviously the Vivo, and the right amount of detail is there on the Find X9 Pro. And in my opinion, the skin tones are better on the Find X9 Pro. I prefer the more natural skin tone of the Find X9 Pro, and even the jacket looks much more, you know, less saturated on the Find X9 Pro. Obviously, the X200 Pro is oversaturating this jacket, this red colored jacket, and Find X9 Pro is looking the most natural and the best color out of all three. So, in my opinion, the 70mm portrait is better than the 85mm on the X200 Pro. So, let's check out the next shot. Alright, so another portrait shot here, and this time 85mm comparison, and you can see the processing on the X200 Pro. It's always the same, like a little processed shot which looks very good. Like, it looks you can directly upload it to the Instagram or somewhere. Like, it's a social media ready picture that you are getting on the X200 Pro. But at the same time, if I zoom in, you can see that the skin tones are looking far more real on the Find X9 Pro if I compare it with the X200 Pro. And if I talk about the edge detection, the edge detection is almost the same on both of these phones. I will say that the X200 Pro has still got little bit better edge detection. If you look at the hair strands here, it's blurred out on the Find X9 Pro, and obviously the weakest edge detection we are getting is on the S25 Ultra. And the skin tones is good. I would say the skin tone is very realistic, but at the same time, it's too much natural that most people won't like. So it's personal preference, but obviously if I don't talk about the skin tones, even the details here, we can literally see noise here on the S25 Ultra, while there is literally no noise on both of these phones. If I zoom in, look at the eyes area here, and look at the eyes here area here on the X200 Pro. You can see that little more natural, you know, processing on the Find X9 Pro here. Obviously the skin tones, everything looks better, and the jacket here also looks much more natural on the Find X9 Pro. X200 Pro is always, you know, tends to put high saturation on the red parts. I've noticed that. So yeah, it always saturates that. So yeah, I prefer the Find X9 Pro shot here. Let's check out the next shot. Alright, so I took this portrait at 85mm to show you the skin tones, particularly to show you how good the skin tones are on the X9 Pro, and it's much more natural if I compare it with the X200 Pro. Obviously, if I show it to the people, most people will prefer the X200 Pro because obviously it's saturating the image a lot. It's giving us a much more social media ready image. So if you want to just click and straight put it to the social media, you will prefer the X200 Pro. But if I talk about the skin tones are much more realistic on the X9 Pro here, and S25 Ultra is also giving us a good amount of skin tones and details, but obviously it has kind of a faded look. It should have a little bit more contrast according to me. So if I put a little bit more contrast to the S25 Ultra and edit it a little bit, it will be a very good output. But right now, straight out of the camera, the X9 Pro is doing a very good job. The most natural job out of three, and X200 Pro is also doing very good here. In terms of detail, if I zoom in, you can see that X200 Pro is applying a little bit over sharpening here. X9 Pro is obviously natural, and obviously the skin tones, I can see that it is giving much more, details here on the skin. So yeah, it depends on you. Let's check out the next shot. All right, so here we have got a macro shot, and you can see that the X200 Pro here on the left is blurring the background a lot, but I think it's just due to focus issue. I just missed to click on it, and that's why. But all in all, you can see that FindX9 Pro and X200 Pro are very close in terms of macro. Both are doing fabulous job, but S25 Ultra always struggles during macro shots, and I saw the same case here as well. It was not able to focus properly even after clicking on it several times. So I think macro is still better on the X200 Pro and the FindX9 Pro. Both are doing good, but S25 Ultra still lacks in terms of macro right now. And so yeah, let's check out the next shot. All right, so if you are into zoom shots, then obviously we have got plenty of smartphones these days, but the X9 Pro to me is the best zoom phone right now in the market. And obviously the X200 Pro and X300 Pro will come, so X300 Pro will obviously try to beat the FindX9 Pro. But right now in the market, the X9 Pro is doing the best job in terms of capturing the details, but I would say it's still the X200 Pro is doing a good amount of job in terms of representing the details and colors and everything. But the S25 Ultra shot is pretty much unusable, so you cannot use it for zoom shot right now, at least for this much amount of zoom that we are seeing right now here. But right now I think the best amount of AI processing is there on the FindX9 Pro. So obviously for zoom, X9 Pro is the best here. Let's check out the next shot. Right, so it's ultra wide shot at night, and you can see the S25 Ultra is having the most amount of noise here, literally not a usable image. And on the other hand, the X9 Pro is doing a fair amount, giving us a fair amount of details, a good job. And the X200 Pro is also, a lot of blurred image is there. I would say the most amount of detail is on obviously the X9 Pro. And talking about the sensor here, obviously the X9 Pro has a superior sensor than the X200 Pro for the ultra wide. So I would say the ultra wide is best on the X9 Pro as of now. And S25 Ultra is also having a similar sensor, still giving us processing matters, and that's why it's not able to process the color good. Obviously the colors are nice, not much contrasty like we are seeing on the X9 Pro, X1 Pro, but the amount of noise it has, it's literally pretty much unusable shot. So yeah, let's check out the next shot. There is a problem with the processing of the S25 Ultra, and you can see that the green hue that it shows, it looks like a filter applied on the S25 Ultra, and obviously the noise here is a lot, while the X9 Pro is giving a fair amount of details. Also the X200 Pro is giving good amount of details. In terms of details, the X200 Pro is doing a little bit over sharpening, but I think it's working on its favor and it's giving us a good shot. But obviously looking at the shirt, you can clearly see the X9 Pro is doing a better job here in terms of details. But again, the skin tones to me is looking a little better on the X200 Pro. Obviously you're not getting the master mode option on the portrait mode, so the portrait mode is always giving us a little more much natural shot on the X200 Pro. But in terms of detail, the X9 Pro is the best here, and in terms of skin tones and the colors, I think the X200 Pro is doing a little better job here. Obviously X200 Pro has received many updates. It's been 1 year now for X200 Pro. Let's wait for the FindX9 Pro to receive a little bit of updates, a camera tweaking, so that we can do a much more fairer comparison. Let's check out the next shot. And this time the S25 Ultra is again having the same problem of giving us purple clouds, which is not accurate. And if I talk about the skin tones are very much natural on the S25 Ultra, and it's good. The colors are as usual very natural. And if I talk about the X9 Pro, it's little bit brightening up the skin tones here. If I talk about the X200 Pro, it's a little blurred shot, and I don't know why it was blurred, because my hand was always stable. But obviously the skin tones, I would say, a little bit better on the X200 Pro here. If I talk about the jacket color, it's much more natural on the X200 Pro here. And This time the X200 Pro is doing a little better job in terms of colors overall, but obviously the X9 Pro is the most detailed and most sharpest shot here, so it depends on you which one you prefer. So yeah, let's check out the next shot. All right, so we took a portrait here, and you can see the different kind of skin tones that we are seeing. The X200 Pro, I would say, is capturing very good skin tones, very natural skin tones. But let's just zoom in and see. You can see that the X200 Pro is giving us the best amount of details on the face here. If I compare it with the other, S25 Ultra is not even able to capture the face here properly, having focusing issues, edge detection issues at night. At night, the portraits on the S25 Ultra is pretty much unusable, so you cannot use portraits on the S25 Ultra, while the X9 Pro is giving
on
us
the
a very good
S25
portrait
Ultra,
shot, and the
FindX9
Pro is
Pro
also giving us a very good shot here.
Vivo X200
But
so you can check the dynamic
some kind
range
of
in the audio quality.
problem here in
On
the
the
detection,
FindX9 Pro, you are getting an option of 1x and
it's very
0.8x
rare,
as well,
and
and
I would
2x
say the
as well
X200 Pro
in
is
the
giving a
video,
good amount
but
of
you're not getting that on
it's
the other
giving us a
phones.
good shot.
So let me know which
Let's check
camera
out
you
the next
prefer.
shot now.
So do subscribe. Hey guys, my name is Rajan and you're watching Lens for. So I'm recording this video. So after testing out all of these phones, I realized that the X200 Pro is still one of the best camera smartphones available, but the X9 Pro is obviously giving us a much more natural aspect to the pictures, and the S25 Ultra needs a lot of improvement right now, especially in portraits. So I cannot wait to test out the X300 Pro, and it will be coming out soon. So do subscribe the channel for the upcoming X300 Pro comparison, and see you in the next video.